Welcome to The Awakening. My name is Israel Basha, and I am your host. Today's segment, Facing the Man in the Mirror. The coronavirus pandemic versus the man in the mirror. FYI, a pandemic is a disease epidemic that spread across a large region, for instance, multiple continents or worldwide, such as the United States of the Americas. Because of this pandemic, this disease that has spread across our country, it has affected our social norms and our social structure as a society, preventing humanity from socializing with one another. The act of socialization is the activity of mixing socially with others, the process of learning to behave in a way that is acceptable to our society. Welcome to The Awakening. My name is Israel Basha, and I am your host. When people socialize, substance abuse is a part of their interaction, such as drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and/or pills. The greatest substance abuse is the environment in which they are in, such as parties, clubs, bars, casinos, and restaurants. Utilizing substance has allowed many individuals to put on many different masks. It also allowed many individuals to get into character and play many different roles while in character. When dealing with substance abuse, you never see the true individual who lies behind the mask. The drug either makes you behave the complete opposite of who you really are. It heightens your deepest emotions or personality. Individuals who utilize drugs or substance tend to be the life of the party. What says of the individual who is no longer able to access said substances? Who is that person really? According to drugabuse.com, American Addiction Centers, edited by Kendra Sklar, M.A., and reviewed by Scott Thomas, M.D., drug abuse tends to significantly alter a person's behavior and habits. Some drugs can impair the person's ability to focus and think clearly. Symptoms such as increased aggressions or irritability, changes in attitude, personality, lethargy, depression, posting very different messages on social media, dramatic changes in habits and/or priorities, involvement in criminal activities. In many circumstances, the ability to get or obtain the substance has been an obstacle, to say the least. Due to the coronavirus, many individuals are forced to face their greatest fears, and one such fear is themselves. The man in the mirror. When placed in a non-structural environment, who is the man in the mirror? When home is more dangerous than the coronavirus. Welcome to The Awakening. My name is Israel Basha, and I am your host. According to FP Insiders, in an article written by Harriet Williamson, March 27, 2020 at 4:40 p.m., titled, When Home is More Dangerous Than the Coronavirus. The article reads, domestic violence affects people of all ages, gender, sexuality, cultures, and levels of income. It's not a problem directed solely at women, although they are statistically more likely to experience domestic violence than men. Allow me to add that domestic violence by women towards men in many cases has gone unreported due to shame, denial, and disbelief. And in many circumstances, reported cases of domestic violence by women towards men are not taken seriously by authorities. The article also reads, imagine living in fear of the person who shares your home. Imagine that every day is a nightmare of criticism, name-calling, control of what you eat and wear, and physical violence. Now imagine that you are trapped inside with that person. End quote. Substance abuse forces many individuals who are in a relationship to become an enabler, for reasons such as fear of being alone, the fear of being abused, the fear of interaction with one another, trying to cope with the drug addiction. The coronavirus has isolated us, heightened our anxiety, our withdrawals, our greatest fears, forcing us to face ourselves, who we really are. And in many cases, because of this isolation, many of you feel the need to lash out at one another. Know that you do not have to do this. All you simply have to do is breathe. People, know that there is help. If you need someone to talk to, there are counselors who are now interacting over the net, providing individuals and family counseling. Take this time to get to know yourselves and one another. Sometimes the man in the mirror seems scarier than he or she actually really is. Do not allow the coronavirus to invade and take over your home, affecting your relationship with yourself and your loved ones. Engage in activities other than the social norms. You do not have to be a dependent or a codependent of substance. You do not have to be a dependent or a codependent of the social norms that has been created as an environmental change. You do not have to be a dependent or a codependent interacting with strangers, but you do have to depend and codepend on one another and each other. This coronavirus, as like many other coronaviruses prior, have come and have gone. I hope that this message reaches you, and more so reaches the man in the mirror. America, let's talk about it.
That they may have an opportunity to live in a country where the Constitution covers them the same way that it covers the white children. Enough is enough.
This is like an abusive relationship.
Their reaction is just like any other American. They felt like justice was not served.
Welcome to the House of Basha, another moment where time has stood still for the African American community.
We tend to place people in positions to where we cannot reach.
The Awakening live stream is a Dallas-based podcast which embarks on current events, hot topics, religions, politics, and relationships. The Awakening live stream is an affiliation of the HOB House of Basha Incorporated and Unique Products by ME. If you wish to comment on the episode, be on the Awakening live stream, or just have podcast suggestions, please do so by the following. You can email the Awakening live stream at gmail.com or the Awakening live stream at yahoo.com. Or simply call and leave a message at the following number, 214-924-9023. All calls and emails are subject to be played or read on air. We look forward in hearing from you.